And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live Q&A. I got my water ready. You guys know me. I'm a big water drinker. But it's Wednesday, August 28th. It's the week of college football, at least week one. Go Dogs. But it's a great week. It's a great day to be alive, and I appreciate you guys hopping in here live or on the replay. For those of you who are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome. What we do is hang out for however long, hour to hour and a half, fire off your questions in the chat, can movie, TV show related, video game related, life related, food related, you name it. And I'll get to as many questions as I can, but it's a hangout, Q&A, fun vibes all around. Hit the like button if you guys are in here. Fire off a super chat. That's a way to guarantee I get to your question, comment, or concern, because I won't get to everyone's question, comment, or concern. I can do my best, but I won't be able to get to everyone's. So that's a guarantee. And then, of course, I'll wait for some more y'all to get in here, but I'm doing a giveaway of this right here. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes 4K steelbook. I'm doing a giveaway on this stream, so you'll want to stay tuned. I pinned a comment as to how to join that, but I'll wait a sec. Cheers for water. Okay, so yeah, you guys know the drill. I see we got a bunch of people in here already firing off the questions. So I'll do a little questions, and then in a few minutes, do a giveaway. All right. Cobra Kai Gaming, what's up? Connor, how you doing? Jacob, say, Chris, love your vids. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. I'm not trying to win one of your giveaways, but just wanted to drop in and say hi. I have some news. I may be working on a video soon. Very nice, Jacob. Very nice, my friend. Very nice. Yes. So you don't want to win this? No, I'm messing with you. Chuck, hello there. It's my favorite movie of this year. If you're referring to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, there you go. Owen in the house. Welcome, Owen. Let's see. What is my favorite Spielberg movie? It's got to be Raiders. It's got to be Raiders. Got to be. The Unusual Couple podcast needs to be renamed as the Florida State Seminole Slayers during the college football season. I mean, yeah, I'm a Georgia fan, Kansas Georgia Tech fan. They dominated Florida State. Florida State, seemingly a pathetic football team nowadays, huh? Who would have thought? Why is Daniel always glazing? I always get a kick out of it. I saw like tons of comments and like videos about this in on TikTok. It was quite funny. By the way, if I sound stuffed up, stoppy, whatever you want to call it, it's because I am. I have a bit of a cold right now, but I move. We move, as they say. Salty's video says, hey, Chris, favorite thing to do in your free time? My favorite thing right now to do in my free time is play EA College Football 25. It's the college football video game. I can't get enough of it. It is my jam. It's my jam. I'm in a dynasty right now in the year 2031. I've been swapping around schools. I have no loyalty in that game. I don't recruit. I don't follow the rules. I just do my jam. So I'm at Ohio State right now just because I ended up getting an offer there from like Louisiana Tech, or was it Florida State? I'm an offensive coordinator, so I just run offense only because I don't want to play defense. And so, yeah, I ended up at Ohio State. I went 16-0 on the Natty, and I just lost my first game of that dynasty today, and it really angered me. So I dropped 80 on the next team I played, which was Minnesota. But I don't like Ohio State. That's the funny thing. That's the kicker. I don't like Ohio State. I just use them because I got an offer at a great program. And honestly, I wouldn't mind working my way over to Georgia at some point. Thoughts on the Tech Night party scene? Eesh. Brutal watch. Brutal watch. Very uncomfortable and just flat out disgusting. That's my thoughts on that. DJC, what's good? Elizabeth, how you doing? Gavin says, hey, Chris, today is Fincher's B-Day. So what's your favorite scene he's ever directed? Damn good question. Shout out David Fincher. What a goat. My favorite scene he's ever directed is about as basic as it gets, and I don't think this is a surprise to anyone. My favorite scene Fincher's directed has to be in The Social Network. It is the scene where Eduardo Saverin confronts Mark, and you've got like 3 ongoing dialogues. Mark, he like boom walks out. The way that scene is shot with Eduardo walking is incredible, and then the whole confrontation scene there. And then Sean Parker, Justin Timberlake, just off to the side, like adds so much to that scene when he finally gets told off. God, it's satisfying. But that's up there. But to give you like a less basic pick, it's a bit tougher. I gotta let's see. That's my answer. Or like I could pick like 15 scenes from that movie. So gotta be something from The Social Network. Happy birthday, Fincher, by the way. Gibson with the super chat. Have you ever had ideas for a film or show? I have talked about this very little on the channel, but back in 2020, I was in college at the time at Georgia, and I was in a class where I had to make 2 short films during the pandemic, mind you. Very tough, but I technically have made 2 short films that will never see the light of day. ever. Never see the light of day, no matter how much you guys ask me to show them. I've made 2 short films with no dialogue in either. It was just Cam, my girlfriend, acting in it. It was weird. One of them was horror. But no, the concept I had for one of them was about OCD. Like, this girl with OCD is, I'll just tell you about it. I will never show it to you, obviously, but she has OCD. And so she's upset. I like had some shots of her just organizing the crap out of her room and like her house for some reason. And she like goes to sleep for the night, and she keeps like hearing this noise, and it keeps recurring. And so she keeps waking up and turning on the lights. And every time she turns the lights, something else in the room is kind of messed up. Right. And so, ultimately she turns on the light one final time, and everything is organized, but she gets a call from like someone, and it's like someone she knows in the building or something. And they're like, what do they say? They're like, I'm trying to remember because I'm not fond of it. They're like, oh, they're just doing construction or some stupid thing, right? Well, they go to bed one final time, and when they turn on the lights, they hear the noise again after they thought everything was good to go. And when they turn on the lights at the very end, it's like a very immediate cut. I like had to shoot it like without moving Cam. It was kind of hard to do actually, but I had Cam like sit up, and so right when she hits the light, there's like a cut, and like the entire room is covered in shit, and like not actual human feces, but like shirts, everything's disheveled. And then like I like slow zoom in and like just to the eyes, and then we hear like a blood curdling scream, and then it's like the credits roll. It was just like a quick concept. I wanted to do minimal dialogue because I didn't want to get people to act. I don't know actors. But yeah, that was it. It was more so, the class was more so to just to put you through the process of making a short film than actually doing something with it. Like I didn't make a 30-minute short or 15-minute short. It was like 4 or 5 minutes. And then the other one, I don't want to talk about that one, but the horror one I enjoyed more. It was the second one I did. But no, that's an idea I had for something. For an actual full-fledged film, I've never had any ideas. I would love to make an indie. If I ever made a movie, it'd probably be an Indiana Jones short film, to be frank. Zach with the super chat saying, go see Sing Sing whenever you get the opportunity. Fantastic movie. Long time no see. Zach, good to see you in here, man. Welcome back to the streams. And that's the Coleman Domingo movie, right? I have not seen it. I've heard there's Oscar buzz around it, but I have not seen it. But yeah, I may or may not check that out when it gets closer to Oscar season. It's just not on my radar right now, but I could watch it nonetheless. Anyway, let's do this giveaway. You guys down? So I'm doing a giveaway of this steelbook right here. It's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Infamously not a huge fan of this movie, but I have the 4K steelbook right here. It's the Blu-ray. It comes with the theatrical version, the raw cut of the film, which I believe has just like the actors walking around. It's a 4K steelbook. It came out yesterday, and I'm giving it away. Now, how do you enter to win this giveaway? All you have to do right now is comment in the chat or comment on. Okay, comment in the chat if you're in here. I want someone who's in here to win it. Comment in the chat, Apes Together Strong. But this is the important part that most people will miss. In addition to that, you have to let me know how I can get in contact with you, or else like I can't get in contact with you. All right. So comment Apes Together Strong if you want to win this, and how I get in contact with you. That way I can message you and tell you, I can tell you, hey, you won, and I can ship it to you. Additionally, if you want 5 bonus entries, you can become a patron. It's at the $5 tier. You get 5 extra chances to win this for $5. The steelbook's like $30 or $40, I want to say. So it's a good deal. And if you don't win, you still get to support me, even if it's just for 1 month on Patreon for extra content. You gain access to that for a full month. So I look at the chat right now and I see all the names popping in. I will sift through this chat later in the night after the stream in order to write everything down. And then I'll put it all in a big spinning wheel, and I will pick a winner, and I'll message you privately. I won't publicly announce who wins the stream. But again, this is the time to join the giveaway. I see we got people entering right now. Don't forget, leave like an email or something as well, or like an Instagram so I can message you. But there you go. I'm not good at giveaways, by the way. I'm like, what do I do? I've never really done them. But anyway, back to the chat. We got 70 folks in here. Hit the like button if you're in here now. It means a lot. And let's keep it going. And some of you, I do know how to get in contact. I see some people I know in the giveaway, and I know how to get in contact with you, so you don't have to worry about it. If you know I've, messaged you before, you don't have to worry about that. All right. Ben in the house, what's going on? how do I feel about the Sonic 3 trailer? So made this very evident in my reaction, which I posted yesterday. I have never grown up on Sonic. I've never even considered myself really a Sonic fan. The only experience or exposure I have to Sonic are two things. One I just thought of. One is a Sonic race game. People were saying it's called, I forget what the name was, Sonic Riders or something like that. But the more importantly, I would use Sonic in the Olympic Games. You guys remember that? It was like Mario versus Sonic, the Olympic Games, and you could have Mario characters and Sonic characters going off and pole vaulting or swimming, whatever it may be. I had it for my DS, blast of a game. So that's my exposure to Sonic. Regarding the trailer, I thought, within what we know, what we've gotten from Sonic, I'm like, yeah, it seems like the other two movies, and that's totally fine. I've never been a huge Sonic fan, so it's not like I'm excited for it, but knowing what I know about the two movies, I've seen them. I haven't seen the Knuckles show. I'm like, yeah, this seems pretty par for the course of what we've gotten. I kind of know what we're getting into. Shadow looks really cool, and like maybe the best villain, excuse me, of the series so far. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm not like pumped. I'm not jazzed, but it's out there. I will see it, and yeah, I'm sure it could be the best of the bunch. I'm not like I don't really have much else to say. I'm just not huge on Sonic. So it looked cool, though. I will be honest, from, within the context of that Sonic world. Am I going to watch Transformers 1? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I've heard a lot of like really early hype. I've heard people say this is like the best Spider-Man movie. I saw, I won't say that, but I saw, I just saw a lot of praise for the movie. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that means anything. A lot of praise is a lot of premature praise, really, really in advance is artificial. It's meaningless words as some train or something drives over the hill out there, if you guys hear it. So it's like, is it artificial hype or is it actually deserved? I don't know. I fail to see it being legit for the most part, with it being a Transformers film based on their history, but they could totally prove me wrong. I'm by no means flocking to the theater to see this one. There's a chance I go see it. There's a chance I even rank the Transformers movies attached with it, but I'm not looking forward to it, to be blunt. So, James, how you doing? Christian, what's up? How's everybody doing? Let's see. Andrew, I'm doing well. I can't complain. I'm feeling better. I had a cold. It was the worst. It's getting better, though. Yes, I'm familiar. Apes Together Strong. I see, a lot of you guys enter in the chat. Or entering the giveaway, I should say. Happy kickoff week, Chris. Yes, college football legit starts this week. Let's be honest. It's like week 0 was last week, but does that really mean anything? I don't think so. it's like Kevin McAllister. I don't think so. Yes, Georgia plays Clemson at noon. I will be sat. I will be with some buddies. I am beyond excited. And my mod, you guys know him. I don't know if he's in here right now. Yeah, he is. Sarcourt, Jacob. He's a Clemson fan. And so, we're going to be butting heads for a couple hours on Saturday. I'm excited. It's going to be fun. And yeah, I know you're a big Gator fan, Ryan, and I'm going to tell you straight up. This might surprise you, Ryan, but I think they might have a shot in the game. I hate them, and I historically pick against them, but I would not be shocked if Florida won because it's in the swamp. And it's going to be like 100 degrees down there or more. God, it's going to be brutal. I would not want to be there in person. But I don't know. Going to the swamp to start the season is difficult. It's difficult. It reminds me of when Utah went there. I think it was week 1 or week 2 in 2022, and Utah lost. I think it'll be like that. So I could see Florida pulling it out, but I wouldn't be surprised if Miami smacked them either way. We got a super chat. Make that 2 super chats. One from Santa Claus 10. Hey, Chris, what really happens at a convention? I've never been, and I'm going to the Upside Down Con, so I want to be the most prepared as possible. So I've never been to an Epic Cons convention. For those of you who are like, what are we talking about right now? This October 19th and 20th, Epic Cons is putting on a convention called the Upside Down Con. It's in Jackson, Georgia, which is where the real-life downtown Hawkins is, the set that they film at. You can buy your tickets now. I did an interview with Alexis, who is a co-owner of Epic Cons. It's on my channel. I posted that in July, I believe. And you can go. Basically, it's going to be super neat. A lot of the Stranger Things cast will be there. A good chunk of them now. I'm not even kidding. Joe Keery, Maya Hawke, Natalia Dyer, Charlie Heaton, Gaten Matarazzo, Kayla McLaughlin, Millie Bobby Brown, and many more are going. Okay, it's a big deal. And because it's in like downtown Hawkins, it adds to the immersion of it all. Very, very neat. But to answer the question, I've never been to an Epic Con, so I don't know exactly how they're going to run things. I've been to other conventions, though, both Fan Expo, which are like the big ones, and smaller. And for the most part, at a convention, there's a few different things you could do. The first is you can get photo ops with celebrities. You can get autographs with celebrities. And what that means is you have bought a ticket, usually in advance, and they'll have a time that they're taking photos. You go get in line with your ticket, and then you take a photo with them, professional photo op. Same goes for autographs. Whenever they're at their table, you get in line to get something signed by them. The other thing, probably the thing that most people attend are panels. And at the Upside Down Con, there will be panels. Should I say? Yeah, actually, I'll tease it. I may or may not be involved in something regarding that. We'll say that much. First time I've publicly talked about that. But yes, there will be panels, okay? And so at these panels, there will be a moderator of a panel, and some of the cast will be on stage, and it'll be like half Q&A with the audience, where audience members line up to ask the cast their question, and the other half will be potentially the moderator asking questions to the cast. Just depends on the topic, depends on who's on the panel. It's free to attend a panel, so anyone can do that. And they're usually 30 to 45 minutes long, maybe an hour tops. But that is the gist of it. There's also, at this convention in particular, meet and greets, which usually are associated with smaller conventions where you can buy a ticket. In this case, I believe they're doing meet and greets as well as some special events at local venues in Jackson, Georgia. And it's usually a group of like 15 to 20 people. They go and they do something with a celebrity. It's more personal. But that's pretty much it. And they usually have shops as well. So you're like walking around looking at strangers. At this one, I'm speaking now specifically for the Upside Down Con. You'll arrive, you'll pick up your tickets the first day. You will then go about your day, probably create a schedule based on what you've purchased for photo ops or autographs. You can see the panel schedule, see what panels you want to attend. And that's really it. It goes by quicker than you think. And a lot of the times you're waiting in line. I don't know about this one. I imagine it'll be a smaller con than the Fan Expo Dallas or MegaCon, definitely smaller than those. But you'll still be waiting in line a good bit, so be prepared for that. Have your patience on, but it's always worth it. I waited 4 hours in a line for Christopher Lloyd, and it was awesome. It was very hellish in the moment. I won't lie. I did not enjoy waiting in line for 4 hours. I was like, we're not even moving right now. But when I finally got there, now it's like I have this forever. But yeah, Upside Down Convention is going to be super fun. I don't, a lot of it is like the first day, if you're going both days, you kind of just have to play it by ear. Then you get the hang of things on that Saturday. And then the Sunday is when you kind of know the lay of the land. So yeah, that's kind of my spiel about cons. JP with the super sticker. Thank you. And Dylan in the house. Shout out Dylan. It's been a minute, dude. Hope all is well with you. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for that extra support. Water break, by the way. I'm due. Damn good water. Harrison says most anticipated movie/show for the rest of the year. Movie, I'm going to say Gladiator 2. Show, I don't even know. The Penguin. Unless I'm forgetting something. Actually, hold on. What comes out? Squid Game is coming out. Outer Banks. It's like Outer Banks and the Penguin. I'm a big Outer Banks guy. P for L. I don't care. I embrace it. Outer Banks. I'll say that. I think it's coming out in October. They haven't made it official. Actually, damn. Cobra Kai is coming out, but I don't want to say Cobra Kai because technically we already got some. But all things considered, probably Cobra Kai Part 2. We're going to get Sky Tai. Come on. I always just forget it's coming out this year still. I for some reason have like, oh, it came out this year. We're getting it next year. No, we're getting it in a few months. So very pumped for that. Okay. I appreciate that. I love the SpongeBob profile pic, by the way, the PFP. Frederick and Emmy, what's up? Do I have have I seen the VHS movies? No. But correct me if I'm wrong. Radio Silence involved in one of them. Is that correct? If not all of them. I don't know. Sully's in the house. What's good, man? Talked about this a bit earlier, and so you're a massive fan of Sonic 2 Adventure game. Oh, nice. So I have not. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. I haven't explored the Sonic games at all. Like I said, I played the Mario Sonic game and then this Sonic Rider game, but I've never played like a Sonic game. Just like I haven't played the original like Super Mario Bros. Whatever it's called, Super Mario Party. I think that's actually a later game. I don't know. Anyway, I would say, yeah, I'm ready to see Keanu with Shadow. I think it looks cool, but I'm not like too excited for it, is where I'm kind of out with it right now. Bianca in the house. Shout out, Bianca. What's up? How you doing? Have I ever seen Aaron Brockovich? No, but here's my understanding of Aaron Brockovich, or my familiarity with it. You ready? It's from a Lonely Island song. That shows you how old I am, right? I'm in my 20s. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the Lonely Island had a song called Jack Sparrow with Michael Bolton, and there's a part in the song where he just starts. He basically, the whole song is Lonely Island doing like a serious rap, and Michael Bolton comes in and he's singing about Pirates of the Caribbean, and then later in the song he like does Forrest Gump and Scarface, and then it briefly talks about Aaron Brockovich, and so I'm familiar with that. It also has Julia Roberts in the film. Haven't seen it though. She like a lawyer? I don't know. Ashton, what's up? How you doing? Elizabeth says, "Hey Chris, one of my questions is, what are you most excited to see in Trading Season 5?" I could answer this generically. I'll try and give you an outside the box answer real quick. I would say I'm real excited to hear, not even see, to hear the new score by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein. They have knocked it out of the park the first 4 seasons. I hope they give us a new track that is just bone-chilling stuff, one that really stands out in the most, maybe even the most epic moments. I hope that we get, I'm excited to hear their original music. I'm also excited to hear whatever remixes of 80s songs we get, because they continue to crush it in that department. I'm so excited for the NFL football season. Yeah, I'm more excited for college, but it's nice to have NFL on as background for Sunday. NFL is kind of like background noise to me. And then college football, like Saturday, like I will probably stop posting on Saturdays unless I've done something in advance. Nothing is happening on Saturday unless there's like a huge convention, in the sense of back in the day, for those who've been around, DC Fandom or Tadum being on a Saturday. That's like, I'll make time for that, but I'll still watch Georgia. But like the day of the Upside Down Con is a Saturday. It's Georgia, Texas. And the con is during the day. The game is either, it's flexed right now, meaning it doesn't have a set in stone time. It's either going to be 3:30 or 8, likely. Prayers for 8, because if it's 8, I can watch the full game after the convention. Frankly, I'll be watching it either way. Like, I love Stranger Things, and I'm super excited for the con, but I'll have to have that on my phone while I'm walking around if it's Saturday. Whew. Okay. Mash Production says, "Hey, Chris, love the channel." Well, thank you. What are your thoughts on the new, I'm assuming you meant to say Mufasa trailer or Mufasa movie? That's what I'm going to roll with here. I talked about this on the podcast recently. I wish they were just making this, if we have to have this story told, right? If they want to make a Mufasa prequel, why don't you just go back to the roots and make it an animated sequel to the original Lion King in the same animation style? I'd be 10 times more excited for it. It would make way more sense. I think I went off on a tangent talking about how Disney's probably just afraid to make sequels to those animated films because direct-to-DVD sequels already exist. Who cares? The Lion King 2, Mufasa, I don't know call it what you want. Call it Mufasa the Lion King. Make it animated, though. It would be, first of all, it'd be probably 1 billion times cheaper. Secondly, it would probably do better. Unless I'm crazy. What do you guys think? I think it would do better. It would. A lot of people don't care about seeing hyper realistic lions, but if you make a prequel to the original Lion King, that would draw in so much larger of a crowd. But that's just my opinion. Am I excited for Mortal Kombat 2? I haven't seen Mortal Kombat 1, so I'm technically not excited for this. Who's my favorite Stranger Things character out of these characters? Max, Robin, Joyce, Erica. Robin, by a hair over Max, but I love Robin. I'm super pumped that Maya Hawke actually just got announced last week to be going to the Upside Down Con. So I'll be meeting Maya Hawke. Never thought that would happen. Andy Man says, "Yo, you going to be at MegaCon next year?" Yes, sir. I will be there. I'm early developments, potentially cooking up something to do there panel-wise, but I will be there nonetheless. I'll be there regardless. I had so much fun last year and the year prior, but I will be back next year in February. It's actually the Super Bowl weekend. I'll be there though. What are expectations for Venom 3? I don't care. I don't care. Venom 1 was, frankly, it was a bad movie, but it was like, it was still sort of watchable. Venom Let There Be Carnage was bad, really bad. And then this new one, I'm beyond done. I don't care. I'm going to see it because they've sunk their fangs into me. I'm hooked for what? I don't know. Same with Craven. I don't care about the new Sony stuff, but I'm going. I'm going to the theater to see it, baby. Let me take a water break real quick. Sorry, again, I'm kind of under the weather right now. Mike's in the house. Thoughts on UCF? I know Mike's a UCF guy. What was it? 2017 when they claimed the Natty. That always irritated me and probably most people in the country. But all jokes aside, UCF this season, I'll be real. They got the Gus bus going. Gus Malzahn. I think they got KJ Jefferson. That he's got that dog in him. He's from Arkansas. UCF sleeper in the Big 12. I'll be frank. They're a sleeper. I could see them winning 8-9 games. I could see them making the conference championship game. I'm not writing UCF off. They got a fairly favorable schedule, and I want to say they play the Florida Gators this year. Big one. I could be off. I actually know they do, actually. I think they do. I like the Knights. Sneaky. JP with the super chat saying, who do you want to win Sekai Taikai? I want sorry. Told you guys I'm under the weather. I want Sam LaRusso to win, and I want Robbie to win, because I don't think it's possible for Miguel to win based on my understanding. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. The captains are the ones who would fight in the finals, right? That's what I thought they said. I also could totally be off base there, but give me Sam and Robbie. I wanted Miguel to win, but Miguel's also won, and I think I've come to the consensus. I've come to the decision, if you will, that they're going to do an All Valley in Part 3. I think it's the only logical thing to do at this point, so he could win. Miguel could win that. Robbie could win the Sky Taikai. That's my picks, though. Thanks for the super chat. And Dylan with the super chat. Welcome to meeting Maya Hawk Club. She's sweet. I'm pumped. Very excited to meet her. And I'm assuming you got to meet her at Chicago C2E or whatever it's called, because that was her first convention a few months back. So very cool. I will be getting a Robin and Steve signed Funko Pop. My Funko collection, it's gonna be my precious. It already is, but after this con in October, which is less than 2 months away, it's going to be sick. I'm ready for it. Water break. All right, let's do a speed round. Hey, Chris, what's your favorite season? By the way, you're amazing. Well, thank you, Emmy. 4 and 3 are like a dead tie most of the time, but I love season 3, and I'm going to stick to it. A lot of people say that's the worst season. I disagree strongly. Season 3 rules. Favorite underrated Pixar flick? Underrated Pixar flick, I'm going to say off the top of my head, Incredibles 2 or Monsters U. They're both very underrated. I have not seen The Broken Tower. What cons will we be going to next year? MegaCon for sure. Likely Atlanta Comic-Con, because it's my home city. It's not far at all, especially from where I've recently moved. It's less than 20 minutes, honestly. I'm in Atlanta, technically. Sorry, my ears are also clogged, so if you hear weird noises, it's just the sinus is acting up. And then potentially another con. There's a Cobra Kai one. I don't know if someone mentioned it or not. There's a Cobra Kai one in like May. It's in New Jersey. I don't know if I want to go to New Jersey, but that could be on the table. We'll see. And then if they do another Stranger Things con like this one I'm going to in October next year, I'll be there. Anywhere in the continental United States, I'll go. The 48 states, that is. When did I start my channel? June of 2019. I'm about to sneeze. Am I? Let's see. Let's wait it out. Hold on. Is it? Maybe. Keep Watch Burn, Barry the Bear, and Ozark. Oh, that's tough. 2 of those shows are over. One of those shows is not. Honestly, I would say I'll watch The Bear because The Bear is still going. And I love seasons 1 and 2. And like, I can't keep it because I don't know how it ends, right? I would keep Barry because it was perfect. The way it ended, it was perfect. And then I'd burn Ozark, but I really dig Ozark. It's just, of the 3, I'd say probably my least favorite. But it was my I almost said Kozark. I I don't know, comfort show. Ozark was my comfort show at the beginning of the pandemic. In March, I started it. I binged it. I stayed up to like 2 watching. I used to stay up ungodly late, and I wonder if you guys can relate. I think a lot of people did. I stayed up way too late in like March, April, and May of 2020 when they dropped, like, my classes were like done for like weeks. I was just like, I'm just gonna stay up super late and watch stuff. And I watched some god awful movies, like Spencer Confidential, The Big Love or something. What was it called? Lovebirds, maybe Lovebirds with Kumail Nanjiani. What? They don't even feel like real movies in retrospect. Ellie, what's going on? Sadly, David Fincher did direct that movie. It stinks. Let's see. If Hopper and Steve were both about to die, who would I save? Probably have to save Steve. Even though Hopper is like, it's 1A, 1B. I think I've said this before. I've let go of Hopper once. I could do it again if I had to. Like, what I mean by that is I've seen him die. So I could do it again if I had to. Love you and Cam on the escape pod. Also, Cam's roast on Andrew deserves an Oscar. Yeah, that was wild. We had a lot of fun. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, I was on the escape pod with Cam, which is the escape pod's the podcast. You guys should go check it out. It's linked in the playlist of it's on my community tab. If you just look up escape pod, you can go watch it. We talk about Stranger Things. We get in down the nitty gritty of some movie talk lately. You should go check it out. It's quite fun. Let's see. Never played any 80s video games to my knowledge. Hey, Chris, are you doing photo ops? And if so, who? Right now, I only have photo ops with Joe Keery and Millie Bobby Brown. But I probably will do one with Maya Hawke as well. I have way more autographs than photo ops because I love to collect the autographs. Thoughts on Florida State's loss? DJ Uiagalelei is a bum. Florida State's trash, and they've gotten beat by the state of Georgia 2 games in a row now. That's what I have to say about that. I also think Georgia Tech's better than people gave them credit for, but they're still not elite. And I don't know if Cam's watching right now. She's a Georgia Tech fan. We'll find out in a second if she walks in the room or not. But yeah, Georgia Tech, I mean, their fans probably think they won the national championship because they beat a top 10 Florida State based on preseason rankings. It's not really that impressive. I'm sorry. I don't want to take away their thunder. I just don't care. I don't care. You know, it reminds me of Spider-Man 3 when Eddie Brock, train over the hill, by the way, when like Eddie Brock is like, what's the scene? I don't remember, but it's when Peter's like, "You're trash, Brock." That's what I think about that whole game, actually. That's what I think about both programs, to be honest with you. Have you seen The Crow recently? I have not seen the original. And the reason I didn't have a lot of content this past weekend is because my brother got married, and so I was at his wedding, and so I did not have any content this past weekend. And I was the best man. I gave the best man speech. It went well, but I just didn't publicly announce that. I don't know why, but I don't know why I didn't say, "Hey, I'll be out for the weekend." I just like kind of unplugged for a bit. I put up on my community tab. I was like, I'm going to watch one of these 2 movies, and I watched neither of them. That's why I hate like planning things and announcing them publicly, because I just never do them, or things get in the way. But no, I haven't seen The Crow. I heard it stunk, the new one, so I'm just not going to watch it. I trust people who said it stunk that I won't like it. All right, let's do an actual speed round real quick. Again, Super Chat is the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, or concern. And if you guys are in here, hit that like button. Let's get up to 68 likes. You've got 68 folks in here right now. But let's do a little speed round. And yeah, make sure you've entered the giveaway if you haven't. To do so, if you're new, if you're like in here now, if you want to win this steelbook of Kingdom Planet of the Apes on 4K with the raw cut as well, comment Apes Together Strong. And in addition to that, you will need to leave a way I can get in contact with you. That's it. Apes Together Strong in the comments right now. How I can contact you. 5 bonus entries if you become a patron. Ooh, just threw that. 5 bonus entries if you become a patron. All right. Did you have to pay to get on the vlog team? I think anyone can just vlog the con, to be honest with you. You can vlog any convention, but no, I'm just my dad's a photographer. You could inquire about getting media in that case to be a photographer for the convention. But no, I just applied for media to the convention, which you can do for any convention, actually, if you have a Instagram page or YouTube or any of that, any social media following, you can apply to be media and just cover the event in your niche, if you will. So yes, I vlog most of the cons I go to, even if I don't have a media pass, just because it's fun to do. But I will be vlogging the Upside Down Con, for those wondering. What's my favorite disaster movie? Honestly, I don't know if I have one. Twisters, I guess. Is that a disaster? Twisters, the new one. That's my pick. I can finally say that because forever I was like, I don't have a disaster movie. I technically have seen both Twister and Twisters now. So Twisters. Welcome to the community. Thank you for subbing. Jason Cruz in the house. What's going on, man? Have I watched The Vampire Diaries? No, but guess what? I just finished One Tree Hill. For those of you who didn't know that I'm watching, I've been watching the show since April. It's August. I've seen every episode of One Tree Hill, all 9 seasons. And these aren't 10 episodes a season. We're talking 24 episodes in some seasons. Finished it. I think it's 180 episodes or something crazy like that. And I watched every single one of them. And you know what I have to say to that? I would sing right now, but I'm sick. That's what I have to say. I was going to sing for you guys, but I don't want to hurt anyone's ears. Okay. Thoughts on Knives Out series? I like the first one. I like the second one. And I think I'll like the third one. I like the first one more. I need to watch Glass Onion again. I've only seen it one time in theaters, actually. I saw it in theaters, even though it went straight to Netflix. Let's see. Have you ever seen Ed Wood? No. Is that the Coen brothers, though? I feel like it is the Coen brothers. And for some reason, I'm thinking John Goodman. I'm thinking John Turturro. Let me know if I'm wrong, please. Do I think the upcoming Craven movie has potential? No. I don't believe that the reshoots actually made the film better, to be honest with you. So no, I have no faith in that film. Little to none. The only glimmer of hope I have is that we've got Aaron Taylor Johnson. But even then, I don't know if he's enough to save it, unfortunately. We got a super chat from Philly D, 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. I salute you. Appreciate that. Out of the main streaming platforms, being Max, Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV Plus, Prime, and Hulu, which company do you believe produces the best content, and which streaming service would you let go if you had to? Personally, HBO Max is solidified GOAT. I have to write some things down for this one. That's how I know it's a good question. I'm going to write down the streaming services. You said Netflix. You said Max. You said D+. You said, I'm going to draw an apple. Apple. You said Prime. And you said Hulu. All right. Which company do you believe produces the best content, and which streaming service would I get rid of if I had to? Okay. What produces the best content? It's not Disney Plus. Even though they have The Mandalorian and Andor and, Percy Jackson. It's not Hulu, even though they have The Bear. Prime has The Boys. It has that Lord of the Rings show. It has that Jack Ryan show, Jack Reacher. But honestly, I'm not going to say Prime. I know Apple has a lot that I haven't seen, so I feel guilty even saying this. But it's not Apple. It's between Netflix and Max for me. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. A lot of Max is just HBO. So I'm going to say Netflix produces the best content. And I'm going to tell you why right now. Obviously, Stranger Things. You've got Ozark. You've got Cobra Kai, part of it. You've got Outer Banks, which I love. You've got films like The Irishman, like Marriage Story, like All Quiet on the Western Front. These are films that are Oscar winning. You've got Glass Onion, which is an original film. I think in the original films department, Netflix wins by a landslide. Then you throw in the shows. I mean, you've got Bridgerton. You've got Wednesday. You've got, correct me if I'm wrong, Peaky Blinders was scooped up by Netflix. I don't know if it's fully an original. Forgive me. I don't think it actually is. I think it went to the BBC first. Either way, I'm forgetting tons of other shows that I know I like as well on here. Squid Game is huge. I think Netflix puts out the most. But I also think Netflix, because it puts out the most and way more than the other streaming services, not everything is top tier. So like there's garbage on Netflix. You can find it pretty easily if you go look, actually. But they've put out so much more that they still have some of the most top tier shows on television. The Crown, for God's sake. I mean, the appeal is there. The Umbrella Academy. You've got that that Emily in Paris show. Tons of other stuff I'm just forgetting right now off the top of my head. I mean, Netflix, also, they have some sports docs out there that are original. I mean, I got to say, of those, I still think Netflix is king when it comes to the best content. Might be a hot take even. I know Max, you could argue, trust me, but to me, it's like, that's just HBO and they throw it on the streaming service. It's like Game of Thrones was on HBO. I don't know. Anyway, if I had to get rid of one, I'm going to get rid of, I know this isn't going to, this is going to ruffle feathers. I haven't explored enough. I'm getting rid of Apple. I loved Ted Lasso. They're bringing it back, which I have some thoughts on. But I mean, Apple, I know they put out tons of shows that people love. I just don't think I can justify of though. I don't have Apple right now, to be frank. No one in my family has Apple, I should say. And so I don't even have access to Apple TV Plus right now. So Apple. I would say, though, Disney Plus is trending up. You've got Daredevil Born Again on the horizon. You've got Andor Season 2 on the horizon. You've got, did I say Daredevil Season 2? The new season, Daredevil Born Again. There's another show, Ironheart Sneaky Good. It could be. Percy Jackson is going to be their mainstay, though. So Disney Plus is trending up. Max is putting out good stuff, but it's also HBO, so I'm still like weird about it. Netflix is always going to be top dog, and then Prime also has some shows in there that are hits. Invincible is one of them. You could argue Prime. Hulu, they have some stuff, but not as much as I wish they did. That's my long-winded answer to your question. I appreciate the super chat so much. And yeah, there you go. Streaming services. Always fun to talk about those. MovieFan2002 says, keep, watch, burn, and he hit me with the Spielberg trifecta of Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park. Oh, let's be honest here. I'm keeping Jaws. I've seen Jaws the most of those three films. I try and watch it every 4th of July, if not every other 4th of July. It is a perfect movie, in my opinion, and it is adventure, it's horror, it's everything I want. Well written, beyond well written. I mean, it's damn, is it good? God, I love that movie. So I'm keeping it. Okay, that leaves E.T. and Jurassic Park. I would argue that E.T. has the better score. That's a hot take, I think. E.T., God. I just butchered that, but E.T. and Elliot flying over the moon. You could argue that, but I'm going to say, a gun to my head, I'll watch Jurassic Park and burn E.T. because of rewatchability. But yeah, Jaws. That's the one that probably, I feel like that surprises a lot of people. I'm keeping it. Jaws rules. Jaws. It's low-key disrespected nowadays, in my opinion. When people talk about Spielberg's filmography, they don't put enough respect on Jaws. And Jaws should be in the conversation for his best film always. Always. All right. Water break. What a wonderful day. I see the references. A lot of people entered the giveaway. I'll skim through all that and put together a wheel, and I will privately message the winner. So if you don't hear from me, you didn't win. That's kind of how it works. Have I ever seen Hitchcock? Yes, I have a list on my letterbox of the Alfred Hitchcock films I've seen. My favorite is Psycho. Very basic answer, but hey, I've only seen like 7 or 8, so it's got to be my favorite that I've seen. It's a great film. Great film. Okay, you should do a film stock fantasy football league. I'm borderline retired from fantasy football. It took a toll on me. I started fantasy football in the 4th grade, and I did it all the way up into high school, and it was just a lot, and it drained me by the end. So I don't know if I would ever do this, but that would be nuts. That would be nuts. That's a good idea, Jason. Keep, ride, or demolish. This is a theme park ride edition. For those who are like, what does he mean? Keep, ride, demolish. I've never done the Cars ride, so I can demolish that pretty comfortably. I will ride Rise of the Resistance, and I will keep Hagrid's, and it's not even close. Hagrid's is my favorite ride I've ever been on. Yes, and I could say that pretty confidently. So Hagrid's is the best ride I've ever been on. It's my favorite I've ever been on. The immersion is off the charts. I mean, you've got, not only is the theming of the queue insane, and it really, really puts you in the world of Harry Potter, but the animatronic figures and the attention to detail on just the design of the ride is incredible. The track itself is so fun. You go backwards, you go mad fast. There's a surprise in there at one point that, if you've never ridden it, it's like, whoa, incorporates all different types of thrills into one coaster. And it's so immersive. If you ride it at night, it's even cooler. It is the coolest ride I've ever been on. I've done it a double-digit amount of times in my life. I love it. I adore it. Who's your favorite character out of Eddie or Hopper? I give the edge to Hopper there. Happy Compass with a super sticker. Thank you. Appreciate you. Knuckle Show is horrible. I've heard nothing but bad things. I've heard it's bad, so I just don't plan to even watch it. I probably won't ever see it, and I'll just go watch Sonic. I think I'll be fine. The new Sonic. I think I'll be okay. Am I excited for Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice, surprisingly, a little bit. A little bit. I'm not huge on that first Beetlejuice movie. I have an old video on my channel reacting to it, but I'm kind of excited in a weird way. Am I excited for War of the Rohirrim? Yeah, I kind of am. That trailer sold me. I'm not a huge anime guy. For those who don't know, I've never really checked out a lot of anime, but the trailer, the story that was presented there, it seemed really easy to get emotionally invested, and I was kind of blown away by some of the animation. I hope they have a great score. They teased us with that score of the trilogy by Howard Shore, and I'm like, hopefully we get some moments like that where it's like, oh, chills. But we'll see. I'm surprisingly excited. That's like a sleeper pick for me now. It's not my most anticipated by any means, but we're getting close. We're enemies for Few Hour Saturday. That's facts. Dude, like gearing up to kickoff, my hatred for Clemson will pour out. I don't like Clemson. I don't talk about it a lot because it's just not worth my time. I don't like a lot of teams. A lot of teams don't like me, and that's okay. But yeah, like I don't enjoy Clemson. I kind of like usually when I'm not playing them, whatever, right? Whatever. But when I am playing, when Georgia is playing, and I get into it, all right, I get into it. Favorite Tim Burton movie? Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street is my favorite not my favorite Sweeney Todd. It is my favorite Sweeney Todd movie, but my favorite Tim Burton movie that I've seen. Great film, actually, quite good. Favorite Joe song is Change. Yep, that's my favorite Joe song. It's really cool that Ended Up Getting popped off when it did. I mean, I'm glad it had its moment. I love that song as well. I've always liked it, and it was really cool to see Joe get that recognition. How do I think it'll? Oh God, how do I think it'll compare to the Teen Wolf Con? Don't even get me started. For those who know, you know. Leaps and bounds better. Do I even need to say that? That was almost a year ago now. Leaps and bounds better. It's been about a year since I started Teen Wolf, by the way. Crazy how time flies. Let's see. We got a low budget Adam Sandler in here. Dub app on the escape pod. Thank you. Awesome that you're going to be a part of the Upside Down Con. Are you going to have a panel at MegaCon? I would love to do something at MegaCon. I'm actually trying to plan some stuff right now. I would love to do something at MegaCon again. I had tons of fun with it this year, technically. I've been going to Fan Expo every time it comes around in my home city of Toronto. Unfortunately, I didn't go this year. I've never been out of the U.S., but I did see there were some cool names at Fan Expo in Canada this year. I saw my buddy Ewan Reviews was there. I think he met Mike Flanagan. Shout out Ewan. I think he met some other cool people as well, like Bryce Dallas Howard, maybe. Have you ever heard of 3C Films? Because you both have the same name. I've met 3C Films in person. He's a cool dude. I met him back in May of 2022 out in LA, just at the Multiverse of Madness, this event thing I was at. Yeah, he's a cool dude. He's a grinder for sure. When you met Joseph Quinn in autograph table at Fantasy Dallas, how long do you have to wait in line? So for Joseph Quinn at that specific convention, you had to wait in line when you arrived to get a ticket to come back and wait in line. That was the longest part. Then they lined you up at a certain time and they zoom you through so you don't have to wait that long. But all in all, it is a pretty long process of waiting to meet Joseph Quinn. And for most big celebrities like that have a huge crowd at cons, you're going to have to wait a minute. You're going to have to wait a minute, like hours. So get ready to wait hours. I'm just going to tell you straight up. A movie you like but no one else likes. A movie I like but no one else likes. I don't know. What's a movie I like that no one else likes? I would say I like National Treasure more than most people. So I kind of reframed your question. I think I like National Treasure not more than anyone on the planet, but more than the majority of people who've seen it. By a good bit, actually. It's like genuinely one of my favorite movies. So I would say National Treasure is a movie because I switched the question because it was hard for me. I had to make it my own way. But National Treasure I like more than most people who've seen it. Who do I want to win Sky Attack? I answered that earlier, but I'm big on Sam LaRusso. Who's my favorite Outer Banks character? Depends on the day, really, but I like Pope. I like JJ. I like Sarah Cameron. Yeah, probably one of those three, honestly. Let's see. Dark Knight Rises over Batman Begins. Facts, honestly, dude. Facts. That's not even, I think yes. I watched the opening scene of Dark Knight Rises on Twitter the other day, and I was like, yeah. Give me Twisters over Twister. Is that a hot take? I don't think it is. I don't think it should be. I could eat my words Saturday, but I'm liking the vibes from the team. They seem to have a chip with no giving them a chance. I'm going to say I like the vibes a lot around Georgia because at a national level, I've seen so many people be like, nah, Georgia's going to lose 3 games. Georgia's going to lose 3 games. I've seen a lot of people with that 2 to 3 game lot. With a team like Georgia over the past few seasons who's been so dominant and struggling to find bulletin board material, it's out there right now. And Kirby's probably like literally foaming at the mouth because of it. I will say I'm feeling the vibes right now, man. I'm getting heavy. It's not going to be the Oregon game. Georgia's not going to come out and win 49-3. That's not going to happen. Clemson has talent. I've watched a few breakdown videos of the game from non-biased people. These aren't Clemson fans. These aren't Georgia fans. Just to kind of get a read on what the consensus is nationally. Man, I've seen a lot of people, because I don't know Clemson like you do. I know Georgia well. I know what their weaknesses could be. Clemson, though, man, I didn't realize that those 2 wide receivers were freshies. I did realize that Klubnik was real shaky last year from when I saw him. So I think in Atlanta, it's going to be damn near 70-30 Dogs to Tigers. I think in the crowd, I think it's going to be way more Georgia folks. It may be 60-40 at best for Clemson, meaning there's 40% Clemson fans. Raucous environment. Georgia team that's looking to come out, and I mean Carson Beck wants to get his own ring. They didn't win the 90 last year. They're pissed. Does Clemson have enough juice to hang the whole game? I don't think they do. I'm going to say right now Georgia wins 38-17. 38-17 Dogs. Cover everything. It's going to be a good game for a bit, but Georgia's going to pull away. I think there's too much. That's where I'm at right now. I don't think Clemson's going to win the game. You can think that, by the way. I'm not saying you can't. But I don't know. I just don't see Clemson winning that one. And if you guys keep it close, it'll be like when Georgia beats Georgia Tech, and they're like, oh, moral victory. Anyway, hey, Chris, when did you – oh, I already answered this one. Have you ever seen A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood? No, but I remember seeing the trailers for it. When I think meet and greet tickets will be released, I honestly don't have any clue. But I would imagine sometime soon, so I'd keep your eyes posted on the EpicCon socials. That's where the best place to be is EpicCon socials. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Have I watched The Acolyte? Oh, boy, have I watched The Acolyte. I did a reaction series on my Patreon. You can check that out. The first episode reaction is free to watch on my Patreon. It's linked in my description of the video. If you want to watch me go on an adventure, check out that series. That's all I'll say. Thoughts on Ohio State from an Ohio State fan here. I think Ohio State should go 12-0 with the roster they have. I'm not huge on Oregon like a lot of people are. Ohio State should go 12-0 or 11-1. Frankly, anything less is a disappointment. Ohio State will not win the national title this year because anytime there's a team, for the most part, right, a team that people are like, they're the clear favorite to win, and a lot of people are saying Ohio State from what I've seen. I haven't seen a lot of people pick Georgia to win at all. I haven't seen a lot of people to pick Oregon to win at all. I've seen most people pick Ohio State or Texas to win it all. That's just the news I've consumed. I could be off there. But the sources I've seen, a lot of people have Ohio State winning the Natty, playing Texas in the Natty. Neither of those teams will win, in my opinion. And I could eat my words. I I just don't see that happening. I think they're clear contenders, but I saw Kirk Herbstreit, who went to Ohio State, make a phenomenal point. He was like, Ohio State's been talented every year. Like, what about this roster makes it any more special than previous rosters? And I'm like, dude, spit. The 2022 roster that almost beat Georgia in the Peach Bowl might be a better team. I think Stroud's a better quarterback than Howard. They had Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith, and Jigba. And correct me if I'm wrong, Emeka Egbuka is on that squad as well. And they had Travion Henderson. That offense is better than this offense. I know they got Judkins. I know they got Travion still. But, like, you had better wide receiver talent on that team. You had a better quarterback on that team. I mean, yeah, they got Caleb Downs on defense. He's a monster, obviously. But I just don't think that there were Ohio State teams with Chase Young on the defense. They didn't win an Natty. Like, that Justin Fields squad was raw. I'm just saying, as an I'm not an Ohio State necessarily a full-on hater, but I do think people love to overhype Ohio State more than a lot of teams. And I'm not even trying to throw shade here, but Ohio State hasn't won a ring since 2014 with Urban Meyer. And I don't think Ryan Day is the guy for the job. I think he's a very, very good coach. I think he's comparable to a Mark Richt in the sense that he will never win the big game when it matters most. And so, no, I don't think Ohio State's going to win the national title. I think Ohio State should and will win the Big Ten. I do not think they will win the national championship. That's my thoughts on Ohio State this year. No bias, of course. Anyway. All right. I love that I don't have to be unbiased. I could never be unbiased. I know people who grew up, diehard fans of insert team here, and then you go on to be a broadcaster and it's like, oh, you can't show the bias. It's like, I don't like, if your team is the shit, like if you were an Alabama fan during the Saban years and you're like a broadcaster, like how do you not know they're going to win 90% of the game? It's just like, it's weird to me. Anyway. Would you rather see a fourth Dark Knight or a fourth Raimi film? Fourth Raimi film. The Dark Knight trilogy ended wonderfully. I feel like there was a little bit more to tell, and they were going to do a fourth Spider-Man. It just never happened, but they were literally going to do it. It had Vulture and I think Mysterio in it. But we almost got it. What could have been? What could have been? I love the CFB talk. You know what? If you guys are in here and you want more CFB talk, I got some buddies that have a CFB channel. You guys should go subscribe. 3 and Out is what it's called. Excuse me. I used to be on it with them all the time. We started it up, and just go check them out. They're awesome dudes, my good buds, and they do CFB content every week. And I make guest appearances from time to time, so go check it out. But as an Ole Miss fan, I'm going to say, to be honest with you, you need to chill. And I'm not talking to you, Seth. I'm talking to the nation. Ole Miss, every year, it's they got it. They got the dog in them this year. Great roster this year, but I'm telling you, it frustrates me. Because people forget who their coach is. Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is way too risky. Oftentimes, he is the reason they lose football games. Ole Miss, and I don't know how else to say this. Ole Miss is going 8-4 or 9-3. They go to Death Valley. It's probably going to be a night game. L. Georgia. L. That's 2 right there. That's 2, and I haven't talked about the rest of their schedule. Alabama, is Alabama on their schedule? I don't know if they play this year. I'm going to look this up really quickly. Ole Miss football schedule, and I will tell you what they're going to go, and this is my opinion. By the way, can you tell I like to talk college football? Okay. Furman win, Middle Tennessee win, Wake Forest win, Georgia Southern win, Kentucky win, out South Carolina win. They lose to LSU. They got Oklahoma at home. They win that. Okay. You guys aren't going to like this at all, but they're going to lose 3 games. They're going to lose to Georgia, and they're going to lose to LSU, and you're going to insert a random team there, and they're going to lose that one. So they're going 9-3. It could be the Egg Bowl. It could be at the Swamp. It could be at Arkansas. It could be at South Carolina. It's Ole Miss, and everyone just wanted to act like they're an elite team all of a sudden when they've proven nothing. Nothing. Look at last year. It's not hard, guys. I'm talking to the media right now, by the way. They're a good team. But everyone was like, Ole Miss, low-key a playoff team. Lost to Alabama when it mattered most. Went to Athens, got spanked, 52-17, I believe. I mean, they ended up losing a few other games, I want to say. So what are we doing with Ole Miss hype? I don't get the hype. I don't get it. I do remember this, my friend. Oof. And frankly, my bias was showing there. DJ's a bum. I didn't want to believe it. I didn't think he was as bad as you had said he was. And sure enough, he's bad. Yes, my brother did get married. Congrats to him. I'm very happy for him. It was a super fun weekend. And yeah, it was a great time. I've actually never seen Rudy. You want to know why? I don't think I care about that story. I don't want to be anything. That was what I was going to sing earlier for those who were like, what's he talking about? We got a super chat here. Thoughts on Henry/Vecna's secret diary? I have to look this up. Sorry if you hear sirens in the background. I don't know what this is, to be honest with you, unless I'm just forgetting something. Is this like recent? Let me mute this real quick. I have no thoughts on this at the moment, and forgive my ignorance if I'm forgetting something. That happens. We're all human. I googled it, and the first thing that came up was a Reddit thread from season 5. I don't know what this is referring to. I am not. I don't know. I'll blame it on my sickness right now, but I really don't know. I have no answer right now. Sorry. Ed Wood is Tim Burton and Johnny Depp. Oh, that's the one. There is some Coen Brothers movie that's Tim Burton as Ed Wood, isn't it? There's a Coen Brothers movie that's like around that time that came out, I swear, that has John Goodman and John Turturro. Bart or something? Someone let me know what I'm talking about. Have I seen Beckett? I've actually seen Beckett. What? Don't know why I watched Beckett, but I've seen Beckett. Hype level for Sonic 3 after the trailer. So I've talked about this a few times. Appreciate the super chat. Again, didn't grow up on Sonic, and so it's kind of like, I'm going to see it. I think I know what I'm getting into, and that's okay. I know what the Sonic films are. I know what I'm getting into. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think there's some new cool things that could potentially have some of the best scenes in the franchise so far, but it's not like I'm like over the moon excited by any means. Dexter walked so Ted Lasso could run with fixing finales. Yeah. And the thing is, like, Ted Lasso had a really great finale. It's one of the highest rated episodes. It's a fantastic closure to the show. But they're like, no, we got to do it again. And I'm like, oh, what are we doing? Jaws is the best Spielberg movie? I salute you for that. You should really start the Vampire Diaries now that you've watched One Tree Hill. That's what I've heard. And that's what my girlfriend Cam will try and pitch me on, to be honest with you. But I don't know if I'm going to fully commit to that. Let me take a water break. Appreciate you guys being in here right now live, by the way. 60 of you guys. Hit the like button if you're in here. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee I get your question, comment, concern. I lost my spot in the chat. Oh, there I am. Am I ever going to come to Belgium? Probably not, to be honest with you. But, you never know. You never know. If like Hopper and if like Joyce or not Joyce, if Winona Ryder, David Harbour were there, I'd maybe consider it. But even then, that's a flight across the pond for me. Keep Watch Burn The Holdovers, Christmas Story, and Home Alone. Easy for me. Keep Home Alone, watch The Holdovers, burn A Christmas Story. I've been called Ebenezer Scrooge. I've been called the Grinch. I've been called a communist for not liking A Christmas Story. Go back to 2020 if you want to know what I'm talking about. But I don't really care for that movie. I didn't grow up with it, and I just think it's kind of a dreadful watch. But someone was like, I was attacked by various people when I posted my first time watch video for A Christmas Story. People being like, who hates Christmas? I'm like, never once did I say I hate Christmas. It's my favorite holiday and arguably my favorite time of the year. I just don't like this movie that relates to Christmas or tries to take, I don't know. Very anti-Christmas Story over here. Let's see. Jedi Connor, I'm doing good. Welcome in. Am I excited for Terrifier 3? I'm not. I haven't seen the first two. And I don't know if I'm interested. I've heard those movies are disgusting. Like there's just really over the top, gnarly kills for no reason. Is there anything going besides that for it? I don't know. Like the thing about Saw, guilty pleasure for me, is because there's always like some crazy twist that tries to connect to the canon. And it's like this huge expansive universe at this point with the most ridiculous things ever. So it has like that fun element to it. Is Terrifier just like this clown, like just dismembering people on screen for what? I don't know what the movies are about. But I've heard they're like long too. I think I'm going to pass on that. What's your favorite streaming platform? Talked about this earlier. I lean Netflix still. I think it's the OG, and I still go to it more than a lot of them. I hope UGA doesn't get arrested on the way to the game. I want to watch the game. Nice one. Real original. I'm messing with you. Favorite Rihanna album? I don't know, honestly. I don't know if I have a favorite Rihanna album. I have favorite Rihanna songs. I don't know if I have a favorite Rihanna album, though. I don't know. Which one? Is Disturbia the name of an album as well? Let's look that up. Disturbia. Rihanna discography. I'm going to say my favorite Rihanna album. This is so tough because I don't know any of her albums off the top of my head. Okay, it's got to be this one, right? Hold on. Nope. I frankly have no idea. That's my answer. I don't know. I have no clue. Sorry. I don't know. Top 3 favorite songs right now, today. Good question. Let's pull up my Spotify. I'm going to say, as of this very moment in time, my favorite songs right now that have been on the rotation. And these are like songs that I've just been listening to the past week. These are nowhere near like favorite songs of all time for me. The past week, I've been listening to a lot of Charlie XCX, and I'm not ashamed of that. The Brat album. 365 has to be probably number 1 right now. I've been singing that song just so randomly. And then honestly, I don't know. Let's see. Let's pick 2 others. I'm going to say Calling After Me by Wallows. I've always liked that since the album came out, but that one I've just been listening to it a lot lately, and I've always liked it. And then one other one, honestly, it's this song that I rediscovered through One Tree Hill called Walk on the Ocean by Toad the Wet Sprocket. I hadn't heard it in years, and it came on, and I was like, oh, shoot. It's kind of a banger. So, yeah, very all over the place, very random. That's kind of how I am with music, though, to be honest with you. What's worse, Rise of Skywalker or Jurassic World Dominion? Probably Dominion, which is hard to do. Jurassic World Dominion is about locusts. It is a borderline unwatchable film. I think the same of The Rise of Skywalker, but at least it's in the Star Wars world. I mean, Jurassic World Dominion doesn't even feel like a Jurassic movie. At least there's moments in The Rise of Skywalker I'm like, oh, this is still a Star Wars movie, I guess. But even then, whatever. Let's see. National Treasure is awesome. Try not to sneeze. Who's your favorite Stranger Things character from Mads? I would say, I've said this a lot, but I'll say it for you. Here we go. 1A, Hopper. 1B, Steve. Then Dustin. Who's better? What is better, MCU or Indiana Jones? Unfortunately, I have to say the MCU just because there's so much more. Indiana Jones Raiders and Crusade alone are better than, to me, and I'm serious when I say this, I think Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade are better than any film in the MCU. Is that a hot take? I don't know how that one landed. I can't hear you guys respond to that. Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade are better than any MCU movie. In my opinion. That's how I feel. Then I look at Dial and I'm like, oh, okay. Temple of Doom is good, but there's MCU movies better than it, and there's also MCU movies better than Skull and Dial. So because of that, it's like, But it's the best of Indiana Jones is better than the best of the MCU, but as a whole, I take the MCU is better than the Indiana Jones series to me. I mean, the prime of the MCU and then like the Endgame Infinity War 1-2 punch, like you can't really beat that. Thoughts on Oregon in the Big Ten? This comes from Joshua. Ooh, I got a video for you. Go look at 3 and Out. And I was a guest on 3 and Out, and I went in on Oregon. I think Oregon is going to be a good team, but I've seen people having Oregon win the national championship, and I think a lot of people in the media right now have just forgotten that having an experienced head coach is so valuable. And Dan Lanning has been a coordinator for most of his career who hasn't won the big game. Until you win the big game, I'm not going to predict you to win the big game. That's like my rule of sports. And they lost to Washington not once, but twice last year. They got flopped by Georgia in the opener of the 2022 season. So why should I have any reason to be confident in Oregon? Bo Nix is better than Dylan Gabriel. I'm going to repeat that. Bo Nix is better than Dylan Gabriel. I don't think Bo Nix is all that. I think Bo was out in the Pac-12 balling because he ran from the SEC. Go watch his SEC film. I dare you to. God, it's bad. He had flashes of brilliance, but Bo Nix is wildly overrated. The Big Ten, Oregon. They're in the Big Ten now. They got Ohio State on the schedule. They got Michigan on the schedule. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Oregon plays Michigan. Am I right or wrong? It could be wrong there. Don't feel confident in that. They do play Ohio State, though. Here's the deal. Oregon's due for a loss. Oregon's not going undefeated. People have them undefeated win the Natty. Oregon will lose a game or two. Especially, and this is something people forget, two things. That coach has not won the big game when it matters. And secondly, they're in a new conference. Anytime a school comes to a new conference, it's not like they just come in and dominate. And people are acting like Oregon's going to come in and dominate. I don't think they are. To be the man, you got to beat the man. That's how I feel about Texas and Oklahoma as well. They're not just going to come into the SEC and win the SEC. Neither of them, in my opinion. I think Georgia and Alabama have consistently proven they are the two teams to beat in that conference. You come in and beat both of them, you have my respect. But, yeah, it's just different. It's different. Playing it in any conference, playing one team in that conference, say, Oregon plays a Big Ten team last season or whatever, right? That's one game. Say they win it. Okay. Now go play 9. It's different. Same with the SEC, same with everything. Been going an hour 11, by the way. Crazy how time flies on these things. Hit the like button, and I'll probably go for a bit longer. So super chatting your questions if you're dying to hear me answer it. And, yeah, we'll keep going for a bit here. I'm sick right now. Apologies for the sniffles. Keep Watch Burn 2024 movies. Let's piss some people off. Dune Part 2 Challengers and Alien Romulus. I'm going to keep Challengers. I'm going to watch Romulus. I'm going to burn Dune Part 2. Water break, I got you. Penn State right here. God bless you. God bless you for being a trooper. I think they're going to make the playoff this year because of the 12-team expansion. But they still can't win the big game, and it hurts. I feel bad for them. I do. I really do. But they're going to make the playoff technically. Thanos or Dr. Doofenshmirtz? Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. All right, I'm looking for a question here. There's a lot of repeat ones in here, so I'm trying to skip around those. What do you think Stranger Things could give us for Geek Week? An actual teaser, and I think an actual release date. I think at every event, I will continue to say, every Netflix event or any important date, I'll say, oh, we could get the release date, we could get a teaser. And until we get that, I will continue to guess that to the end of time. Rudy's overrated. You don't need to waste your time. I've heard that, and I don't know if I really want to go see it or watch it, I should say, if I should seek it out. What do I think of Holly joining the crew? I'm all for it. I like the expansion, and Noelle Fisher seems to be a pretty great actress. So I've never actually seen her in that Evil Dead film. I heard she was good in it and what she's in of it. But I think it's cool that Holly is aged up and she's getting, more screen time, having a more pivotal role. Favorite movie re-release you've seen in cinemas? Raiders of the Lost Ark. But I also have a list on Letterboxd of that, and so I'm going to pull that up right now just so that I have it. Let's see. I will say... where's that list? Where'd it go? Should be on here somewhere. Maybe not. Hold on. I thought I had it on here. Where'd it go? Maybe I'm just dumb. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I'd say Raiders, but The Lion King is in contention. Die Hard's up there. Bangers. Apparently, Andor season 2 is gonna have a time jump between every few episodes. I'm honestly okay with that. Because if the first season you had a few episodes that were like a contained arc, and then you would move on to a different. I'm okay with that. I could dig that. It's kind of like a Clone Wars type situation, honestly. Favorite movie soundtrack recently released. Soundtrack, Guardians 3 stands out. In terms of a soundtrack, Guardians 3 is one that stands out to me. Let's see. Ooh, will Sonic 3 or Mufasa get more at the box office? I lean Mufasa. I saw this question going around. I think Mufasa, just because of Disney and Lion King. Sonic will do well, but I do think that the Mufasa is going to win out at the battle of the box office. Let's see. Is Chris Y referring to Charlie XCX? Because why not? Sabrina's new album is good. I've listened to that as well. Thank you for reminding me. Taste banger. I like pop. I'm kind of a pop girly. What's your go-to movie theater chain? Of chains, I prefer AMC. There's not a good Regal around here that has like comfortable chairs. The Regal near me is it does not have recliners, which I think is a crime, and it's also very hot in there. So if I have to pick a chain, I'm going AMC. There's no Cinemark around here, really. Okay. Favorite collectible you own? Damn good question, Mike. I would say of the collectibles I own, I'd have to say I have some cool Indiana Jones props. They're not in this room, but they're in another room in the apartment, and one of them is they're I have the Holy Grail from Last Crusade. I have the Fertility Idol from Raiders. Some of those are really some of my favorite collectibles I own. I also have some really cool Stranger Things stuff. Any of my autograph stuff, I'd say, honestly. Yeah. Autograph Funkos. Anyone can cook, probably top podcast moment of the year so far, and there are a lot. That's wild. I appreciate that. That I honestly too was not trying to be funny there. I was just like, anyone can cook. I was about to go in, and it just made everyone bust out laughing. It was just like I was so like serious too. How is it being on the escape pod? It was really cool. They're honestly really chill guys. We got to hang out with them in Orlando in February a bunch. We went to the Universal After Hours event with them. Through MegaCon, and we hung out with them all the days we were down there, and we were just like, yeah, we got to be on the podcast. Cam had known Andrew previously, and Alex and I share a common appreciation of football, and so we hit it off about that. And yeah, we hung out with them when we were out in LA, and they're really cool. So yeah, very down to earth, cool people, and it was very chill to be on the podcast. The weird thing when I go to someone else's set ever, could be my friend's set, could be a podcast, anything, is seeing like what it looks like behind the camera. Like right now, you guys just see this, but I see the whole room, and it's always like you never think about that when you're watching something, but it's always wild to go look behind the scenes of someone else's set, and you're like, wow, it's a lot smaller in here than I thought, or it's bigger in here than I thought. Let's see. Did I see you? Yeah, I did. Very cute video behind the scenes of the actors from Stranger Things. I thought that was really cool. I did see that video. Do I think I'd meet up with Sean Chandler again? Absolutely. At MegaCon, I hope to do something with Sean at MegaCon, a panel potentially. Sean's awesome. I always love collaborating with him. He's a legend. He's led the way for many of us in the movie YouTube space. I've seen episodes of Gotham, but I can never really get into it. Hello there. Brutal. Yes, it was. I've never seen In the Heart of the Sea, though I have heard of it. That's the movie with Chris Hemsworth, right? Haven't seen it. I am going to meet Maya Hawke. Robert says thoughts on Dexter. I'm on season 3 right now. I am considering starting Dexter next. I'm in the market for a new show. I'm rewatching the Night at the Museum movies with Cam right now, but I haven't seen Dexter, and it's damn near going to be the one I start next. Damn near. Let's see. Peace. Have a good night, Dawson. I'll probably wrap this thing up in a few minutes. So get your last minute questions in. Super chat them in if you have one you've been dying to ask me and I haven't gotten to it yet. Is a Letterboxd patron worth it? Yes. You get to change the posters. That alone is worth the price of admission for a year. And you just get some cool stats. But really, I did it for the posters. And it's just like, yeah, I like to support Letterboxd as well. If you have the funds, by all means. If you're a fan of Letterboxd, you don't have to have ads anymore. And it's a way to support them. I think they're awesome. And so, yes, I was gifted a patron to that in 2022 on my birthday stream. And then the next year, I re-upped it myself. And I will re-up it again this upcoming November. So, yeah, I think it's totally worth it if you use the app a lot. It's like $50 to do it for a whole year, I think, which is like, I know that sounds like a lot, but if it's only worth it if you use Letterboxd religiously. And I use it a lot. Even when I haven't watched the movie. It was August 13th to August 27th. I had not watched the film. I still went on there almost daily to see what people were viewing, to change posters, to make lists, public or private. And it checks your stats lifetime for movies. Like there's so many cool things with it. But above all else, it's just like I want to support the people who created Letterboxd. I think it's an awesome app. Because it's free to use, but I mean, going above and beyond for things that are awesome like that, I think it's always worth it. All right, what am I looking forward to in Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2? Sekai Taikai, I mean, is the most obvious answer, but I honestly want to see, and I don't want to like jump ahead or like wish away time or anything, but I honestly want to see how they set up Part 3. We know we're getting into it, Sekai Taikai. It's a tournament in Cobra Kai. What do you have in store for the final 5 eps? Because Sekai Taikai seemingly was the big thing being built up to be the big, let's kickstart or let's end Cobra Kai with a bang with Sekai Taikai. Well, if you do that in 5 eps, what's after? That's the question. What can you have in your final 5 eps that still has the juice? That's what I want to know. Cillian Murphy's in the... Oh, cool. I did not know he was in that, I don't think. Have you played Undertale? I haven't even heard of that, to be honest with you. If you finish a movie after midnight, which day do you log it on Letterboxd? I'm assuming you meant 12 a.m., right? 12 p.m. will be noon. I think I got what you're going for there, though. I'm going to interpret this as midnight. So if you finish a movie after midnight, what day do I log on Letterboxd? It just depends. It depends when I started the movie and how much of the movie I watched. Majority of the time, like if I start a movie at 10:30 p.m., right? So I have an hour and a half left in the day, and it's a 2-hour movie or a 3-hour movie. Often I will log it as the day I started the movie. If I start a movie at 11:30 at night or like 11:45, hell, if I start a movie at like midnight, I'm logging it the day it's midnight, If I watch a movie in 2 days, so for example, I start a movie on Friday and I watch an hour and go to sleep, and then I watch part of it on Saturday and I maybe finish it Saturday or Sunday. Whenever I finish the movie is when I will log it. My rule, though, typically is if I start a movie with with like over half of the runtime still, if I get over halfway through the movie and then it's like turns midnight, I'll log it for the day I started it. But if it's like I started 11:15 at night, even then I might log it the day before. It's just a vibe thing, really. I don't take that too seriously. Joshua says, when will next live Q&A Hangout be? I'm kind of on a schedule of every other week, so not next Wednesday, but the following, most likely. And in between, I do a stream exclusively on my Patreon where patrons can come join and do this. It's a lot of fun over there as well. So yeah, I'll probably have one on my Patreon next week, and then the week after it'll be public again. It's kind of a nice little rotation. My ears, I had to pop my ears if you guys are like, what is he doing? My ears are kind of messed up too when I get a cold. Am I going to see a movie this week? No, probably not in theaters. Favorite Star Wars Special Edition change? I don't have many favorite changes. Maybe I don't know if I have a favorite change of theirs. What have they changed? I mean, a lot of them are just dumb, flat out stupid, right? Favorite Special Edition change? I don't know if I have one off the top of my head, honestly. I can't think of one that I liked off the top of my head. That's my answer. Um, I've never even heard of this, to be honest with you. What do I expect from Stranger Things 5? I expect it to be an epic, beautiful send-off that sticks the landing and is just more than I could have ever asked for. I expect to be overwhelmed with emotion in the best possible ways, and I expect it to be special, to be an event that is truly special. But I'll take like one more question. We got 5 minutes till it's been an hour and a half, so I'll take one more question. Apologies if I'm lagging. I have the Wi-Fi logo in the corner of my screen, so apologies if that's the case. But let's take one or two more questions. Super chat if you got something you're dying to ask before the stream ends. And yeah, this was a fun one though, guys. They always go by so fast. Hot take: The Flash is better than the Batman. That's a wildly hot take. I think that's like insane to me. To each their own. That's insane to me. Madness. Let's see. Do I think the new Captain America will be any good? I do. I think it'll be a solid to good watch. I don't think it'll be some like elite MCU movie, but yeah, I think it'll be solid. Solid, like worst case, I walk out, I go, that was a solid MCU movie. But yeah, I think that will almost do it for the stream. Let's see. I'll answer this. This will be the final question. Box office expectations for September. I think Beetlejuice is going to overperform everyone's predictions. I think that like Beetlejuice, 800 to 900 million. And the reason I say that, on top of they're crushing it with the marketing on social media. They're playing into Stranger Things, playing into Wednesday. Jenna Ortega, huge star to the younger generation. On top of that, it's a sequel to an 80s film, so that has the nostalgia factor, and you never know. Something from the 80s gets a sequel, people will show out. Plus, you got the spooky season, fall time release, perfect. But it's a movie that people who don't go to the movies often have asked me about. Chris, when does that Beetlejuice 2 come out? People who never really talk about movies ask me. So, yeah, it's like that is... sorry. Beetlejuice is going to have a cultural resonance, if you will, unlike what we think it could. And I think it's going to end up being one of the highest grossing movies of the year. I think it reaches 800 million. That could be really, I could be off. I could be off there. I am often with box office predictions, but Beetlejuice is going to crush it. I wouldn't be surprised if it opens to 100 million domestic. It's going to be big, guys. It's going to be big. And the final question is a super chat from MovieFan2002, a Keep Watch Burn, a classic Keep Watch Burn. Appreciate the super chat, by the way. We got Keep Watch Burn, No Way Home, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Deadpool and Wolverine. Damn, that's my answer. Damn. If I had to keep one of these movies, meaning I can watch it at any given moment in time, I got to keep No Way Home. It is the Spider-Man movie. It gave us the 3 Spidey swinging in live action. It's also a very emotional film, and it set up Peter Parker in the MCU, or Spider-Man, in the MCU, for a fresh new start. Are they going to do anything with that? It seems like they might not, but at least we have it, So I'm keeping that. That's a special movie. I don't say that lightly. Between Guardians 3 and Deadpool and Wolverine, which one do I have to watch? I mean, I love them both. They're vastly different movies. In my last MCU ranking, I technically had Guardians 3 higher. Damn, honestly, I gave them both 5 out of 5. I think I have to do the right thing here, and I have to watch Guardians because I have to see how that trilogy ends. It's a final film for that group of characters. And then by default, I burned Deadpool and Wolverine. But like, I love Deadpool and Wolverine. One of them just had to go. Those are all top 10 MCU movies to me. And I loved my experience with Deadpool and Wolverine. But if I had to let one of those go right now, I would let it go. It's still a 5 out of 5 to me. It's my favorite movie of the year. But the other two just edge it out ever so slightly. They edge it out. So tough one, tough ask. Great super chat. Great question. But yeah, my nose is super itchy. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for being in here. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's a fun stream. One in the books, another one in the books. So yeah, that does it for this live Q&A on this Wednesday evening. Of course, hit that like button if you heard live or on the replay. If you sent a super chat, if you were just here, if you did anything, I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. And if you entered the giveaway, thank you. If you entered the giveaway, I will reach out to you if you win. So if you don't hear from me, you didn't win. I saw everyone who jotted it down. I'm going to go through the live chat, and sometime this week, I will privately message via email, Instagram, DM, whatever, and I will ship this steelbook to the winner. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you entered the giveaway, if you did any of that, I will privately message the winner. So if you've entered, you're good. If you don't hear from me, you didn't win. So that's that. Hit the like button. If you're on the replay, hit the like button. And yeah, that was a fun one. Stay tuned for more streams, more content coming very soon. And college football, it's almost here for real. I'm hyped. But I appreciate you guys as always. And until next time, see you guys later.